Hey, Mike and Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Nighthawk by Seva Cornhole. Let's go and dive in. We'll break these bags down. Slow side of the Nighthawk. This is a hybrid material. It's a unique material. I haven't seen this in any other bag before. To me, it plays 5.5, 6 speed. I think Seva calls it a 5.5 speed. Seva does put their speed ratings on their bags. I don't know if you do all their bags. A lot of the bags I've thrown so far, they have their speed ratings. I like that. Even if you don't agree with them, at least gives you an idea of what speed you're looking at the ballpark of them. But they call it a 5.5. I think, yeah, 5.5 to 6, somewhere in that range. Very similar to the speed of that Viper R slow side material. Maybe ever so slightly a touch quicker, possibly. I don't know. They've played faster as they broke them and they slowed down. So maybe the more I throw these, they'll break it and slow down a little more and settle more in that 5.5 range, but somewhere in that 5.5 to 6 speed range. It being a hybrid material, it does play very consistent across all board conditions. So if you live in an area where humidity is an issue, or you play in all-day events or tournaments where conditions change throughout the day to the evening, a bag like this with this hybrid material will play pretty consistent. Doesn't really fluctuate up and down like a lot of that polyester material does, or even sometimes the polypropylene material will get faster in humidity. This stays pretty consistent, so you kind of get that 5.5 speed range, and you don't have to change bags as conditions change. One of the big pluses, I think, of this material is Seva told me when they sent me the bags that this material doesn't have the stretch the other hybrid materials do, and that's kind of one of the biggest flaws of the hybrid materials. One of the issues that I have that I hate about the hybrid materials is you get the bags broken, you get them right where you want them, and then as you throw them, and the more you play with them, the more broken they get floppier. They get looser as the material stretches, they start getting sloppy and floppy. Eventually, you've either got a looser, floppier bag, or you've got to go buy another set and get those back to where you want. This material so far in my testing and my throwing of these, it really hasn't stretched. I think Seva is accurate saying that it doesn't really have that stretch to it. So it holds its shape, it holds its size, and it gives you more of a consistent playability throughout the life of the bag. So 5.5 speed on the slow side. Fast side. This is the same fast side material that Seva uses on their slasher. And I don't know, I don't recall any other bags that I've come across yet that use this material. I don't want to say this is the only company that uses it. It's very possible some other companies out there do use this fast side material. I'm just not aware of them, or maybe I misidentified them. It's happened before, but it's a 9-speed material. It's quick. It's great for pushing, collecting, sliding the boards in any condition. So it's a wonderful fast side material. So about a 5.5, 9-speed in these bags. And I will say, there's a reason that a lot of companies use all the same materials. You see a handful of the same materials used over and over again, and there's a reason, because they're great materials. But it's refreshing for me to find a bag that's using different materials. I love that. I love getting new materials. I love going out and trying them because I don't know what to expect. I get a bag in that has the same materials, and I throw in, and I'm like, I already know, I already have expectations for that bag. A bag like this again, I don't know what to expect. It's fun to do. It's fun to try out. And then sometimes for some of these companies, sometimes they put these new materials on and they don't really have success with them. So there is a risk involved with it. But I love when companies like Seva do go out kind of on that limb and try something new and different. It's fun. And so this Nighthawk is definitely a different type of bag with the materials they're using on there. Template wise, it's a medium template bag, but it's on that borderline of being a large. It's kind of that medium. It's a larger side of medium, right? So if you like a little bit larger bag, you're going to like these Nighthawks. Now it's still a medium amount of fill, medium amount of flop, right? The bag doesn't have, it's got some flop to it. It does have some flop. It's not overly floppy. And that's where I say, like, this material is not stretching out. If this was a stretchier, typical hybrid material that stretches, this would become a very loose and floppy bag, but it's not. It seems to be holding shape really well. Now, I will say, when I first got these bags, it did take me some time to break the slow side material, more than maybe I was expecting. So just be patient to get these in, give these some time to break in before you really judge them. But I think once you get these broke in, you're really going to like the way they play. The fill in here is it's a mixed fill. Seva calls it a tri-blend. It's a 3-part fill in here. It's a good mix. I love the fill in the bag. It's a wonderful ratio of fill to the fact that you've got enough flat fill in here. You have that forgiveness on the landing. It's not a really super bouncy bag, very forgiving bag, so not a ton of kick. If you don't throw a flat bag, it's not going to punish you with an aggressive kick. It does have a little kick to it. Again, most any bag's going to kick and put enough tilt, enough angle, it's going to have some kick to it. So there's some there. And the kick, you want that kick. If you want a bag that has some cuttability, you want that kick, and this bag is definitely a cuttable bag, but it's not a punishing kick. It's definitely a small kick, a controllable kick, and that's only if you put a pretty good angle. A slight angle in the bag, you're not really gonna notice it whatsoever. There's also enough flop here that the bag has that forgiveness around the hole. So if you get the bag up near the hole, just get that corner to grab, it's gonna pull the bag back in, which gives the bag a nice wide landing zone. And if you watch these videos here, you're gonna see I'm missing a lot of times left and right, and that bag, if that corner just grabs, it spins around and just melts right back in. These materials extremely hole friendly. I love how hole friendly the slow side is. It feels like it should be a stickier more controllable bag. Yet it does have control. Like I'm able to throw some blockers if I want to up there. I'm able to put some cuts in there like I want to. It's probably a bag that I think you can roll and flop. If you're an average to above average in those skill levels, you can definitely roll and flop this bag. But you have a tremendous amount of hole friendliness in this material for the control that you get. I love that. I was impressed with how well the bag played around the hole. Super forgiving. So if you're looking for, maybe you're looking for a bag that you're not the most consistent with your throwing, you're a little off on your bag not being quite flat, you're not as accurate in hitting the right landing spot, you're missing a little bit here, left or right, forward, back, whatever. But you want a bag that has some control, but it's not going to punish you that way. That's what this Nighthawk kind of does, right? It has that forgiveness landing, has that forgiveness around the hole, but you still get the control you would of a stickier bag, a slower bag, a fuller bag. You get the control there, but you don't get the punishment that you would get with that type of bag. So really love the way this Nighthawk played. These are ACLs. ACL stand for 2024. So you play ACL events, you can throw the Nighthawks. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about playability more, because that's kind of where I've been going on this. And for me, this is really a bag. It's a bag that if I was pulling this bag out, and my mindset is going hole for hole, putting your 4 bags in, outscore your opponent, maybe the occasional blocker here or there. I'm not really looking at this bag to be a full dirty style board bag. However, if boards were slower, a little stickier boards, a little slower boards, maybe that's where you pull this out and you can pull you can play a little more dirty style game. A bag like this is more of a level 1, level 2 blocker, kind of up closer to that hole, where it's more of a visual obstacle, something just to make them really think about to get around, and hopefully they're going to make a mistake and then you can clean it up. Because of the size of the bags, these medium to larger template bags, you can get aggressive with that blocker, put it more on your opponent's side, and come down the middle and just clip it. You're just clipping a corner. I mean, there's some floppiness, there's some accordiness, but I didn't really have an issue, honestly. If that bag was there, as long as I could just catch enough of that corner, spin it, because the materials are both hole friendly, it dripped right in really well. So I didn't have a problem collecting blockers. Again, it wasn't a bag that I was intentionally throwing a lot of blockers with. This was more of a bag where I'm getting up there, I'm putting my 4 bags in, I'm playing an opponent who maybe likes to throw some blockers up there. With a bag like this, I've got the ability to throw those cuts, rolls, flops. They put a blocker that can get around it. It's a floppy enough bag that I can even step out, kind of bully into them, and spin my bag around to play that get around game with it, or even bully in and just take whole control that way. So it's a bag like this gives you a lot of options with it. These hybrid material bags have really become my go-to in my arsenal. And if you watch my Thursday What's in My Bag segments that I put out there, at least half of the bags I typically have some sort of hybrid material on them, because I love the versatility you have with them. And this Nighthawk is no exception. You really have a ton of versatility. And it's on that faster side of its hybrids, right? It's not quite as sticky and slow as some other ones. So if you're a fast bag thrower and you're wanting to get into the hybrid bag game, but maybe you don't like the loose floppiness of some of those Viper R's, I think you'll love these Nighthawks. And again, if you're a slower player, or maybe you throw something like a Surefire, right, and you're looking for a bag that can handle those humid conditions when that Surefire just doesn't move, this is a great option to move to. So a lot of versatility in this Nighthawk. There's not a lot of things this bag can't do. I really was surprised with how well it played. It's definitely a bag you're going to probably see showing up a lot in my Thursday What's in My Bag segment, because it's a bag that I've really enjoyed throwing. All in all, I highly recommend checking out this Nighthawk, which leads me to availability. Seva has a website, SevaCornhole.com. A link down in the description for you guys to check out. The bags were $85 for a set of them. As of the recording, they had these bags in stock. They just released them. They just launched just recently, just a few days ago. So they had these in stock. They had a couple different shipping options. The cheapest shipping option was just over $6. So like $91 and change shipped to you. Phenomenal price for an ACL Pro Stand bag. So again, if you've been thinking about jumping into the hybrid bag market, maybe you haven't yet, you want to kind of dip your toes in to try it out, I think this Nighthawk's great bag to start with. If you have and you don't like how sloppy and floppy some of them can get, you want one that holds its structure, holds its shape a little better, I think this Nighthawk is exactly what you're looking for. If you've thrown these bags, love to hear your feedback, what you like, what you don't like. Drop a comment down below, let me know. I thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.